All right, this is going to be the podcast number 6. No, it's number 5. Damn it.
I was about to say, do we do that much? Wow, I'm impressed.
No, we'll get there soon. But yeah, starting from the left, we have Marbels, and then followed by Amps, then Legion, then Goosaphone, then TGP, and then myself. Some of us changed our pictures, so I hope you guys can keep up with all of that. Our first topic, of course, is going to be about the Beyond Darkness banner. It just released, and of course, I want to know, did you guys pull on it?
Yep.
I did.
I'm going to.
I am currently pulling on it. Yes.
You're currently pulling on it.
I'm doing it as I get orbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same here.
So what'd you guys get?
Jack shit.
So far I got 2 Lughs and Tana, so that's pretty good.
Diana, okay.
Pretty good. In about 20 orbs, I've gotten a Hinata, which is basically a 5-star if you think about it. Sue, and a Sue, who is minus speed, so fantastic.
Rough.
I got Fury Fodder.
Yeah.
Wait, is this
And a Sakura merch.
a 5-star Sakura?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had to 5-star it.
Okay. It seems kind of rough for everybody. I haven't pulled yet. I'm gonna pull on the weekend, but basically, I'm only gonna go for red. So if I get some Fury Fodder, that's nice. But Idunn. How do you say your name properly?
There's a bunch of like different. No, there's a bunch of different ways. Like technically, it's supposed to be like Idunn, because like normally they don't actually spell it with a hard D. In the patch I played, it was Idoun, so it's like Idunn. Some people say Idunn, but I just say Idunn.
I personally like to say Idunn, kind of going like an OU as in U, personally, and they don't use the soft D, like it's actually a TH sound. So
yeah, it's not supposed to be like. It's supposed to be like in like Idunn.
Yeah, but
they don't spell it that way anymore. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't pronounce anything, so I think it's fine. Either one, all of them are good.
Yeah.
I pulled a 4% pity break, so at some point I'll pull something. I don't know.
Wait, you're at 40%?
No, I'm at 4%.
You're at 4%?
I'm at 4%. That's what I got out of 80 orbs. 4%.
Damn.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you keep pulling more orbs, you'll get 5%.
I am pulling for Thea.
What, really?
Wait, what?
Why Thea?
I want that lance.
Oh.
It's the only reason why.
But she's gonna be 4-star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste feathers.
Hold up. Do you guys really?
I also want
feathers you can farm, but I don't know. I'll probably pull on the blues just because like I really like her, but
you're asking me to do work.
I'll pull blues if I absolutely have no choice.
My question is just like, do you guys think there's actually going to be a demote? Because last time it just seemed so obvious Valoria was going to demote. It just seemed perfect. Everything made sense.
And then it didn't.
And then it didn't. Yeah.
It just it doesn't make sense because why wouldn't they have given her a better skill if they wanted people to pull for like a 5-star exclusive unit?
Exactly.
Like they're encouraging people to skip that way. I just don't understand.
I know precisely why. It's because IS wants money.
Oh, yeah.
No, they lose money that way. They lose money by deterring people to pull. They would gain money if they gave like, I don't know, like a tier 4 skill to Valoria or something that would give people a reason to pull.
Right, but here's the thing.
The reason was basically she's in a unique color and a move type for like that. So she was completely new and then she's strong as shit. So like that was like, I don't see where people think she's gonna drop when KAIEN is right there being worthless and annoying.
He's not worthless. His weapon's really good.
His weapon's actually really good.
He's strong, but in comparison to the other 3, he's like whatever. And then his skills are also whatever. So it's
it's a support hero.
KAIEN's obviously going to drop. So
I think he's really good actually.
Same.
Yeah, I think that he's actually decently premium and his support is very good. Even though his stat line in comparison to the others is paling, he definitely sets his own stage for support that is pretty unique.
I think IS sees that these characters are really popular, and they know like if they feature them later on like future banners, they could probably get money there. I think that's probably why they held off on demoting any.
they'll say
Yeah, not to mention Fate's bias. What can you do?
no. Just going back on that.
Come on, the Last Drift banner was another no one demoted.
Okay,
I feel like there's a
well,
little
that
bit
was
of bias
different. I don't
on
feel like anyone had a reason to demote on this one. This one, people had a reason to demote.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if it wasn't a.
Well, they didn't have enough reason.
Links and
apparently.
close defense and wards and goads, we've all gotten at 4 stars before.
Yeah.
Like,
But
that's
then the
nothing
units
new.
are also kind of ridiculous, so...
Well,
Yeah, that.
the only reason I can
Like-
imagine why they didn't demote anybody is because everyone's just coming out with the expectation they're gonna demote, and then they don't pull on the banner. So for some people, legitimately, all they wanted was Valoria, and then they don't pull, and then they were gonna
Yep.
wait for her to drop, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, you can't do that because we're not dropping anyone this time around."
And now you gotta wait for the next legendary banner.
So
Well,
yeah, make
actually,
people
this
hesitate.
month's mythic.
It is.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I do have my predictions of who gets demoted, but I always have an off chance that they don't demote because sometimes it's plain obvious somebody should get demoted, but then they're like, no, we're not going to demote anybody.
Okay, but that's what I thought last time was Valoria being plain obvious, and this time it's gonna be Thea. At least that's what it looks like.
In Thea's defense, at least, her stat line isn't even nearly worth keeping up there, like Valoria's, for example. That part, at least, gives me some more justification to that.
Yeah, Valoria
Yeah.
has a really nice stat spread.
Yeah,
Right.
And again, unique type. Like,
Right, colorless
infantry beast.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the, aside from Leanne, or however you
Leanne
pronounce
is
it,
the
she's the
other
first physical colorless unit. And she's the first physical colorless offense unit.
She
That's too
also
special to
had
just drop.
flyer formation, and like normally the hone will stay 5-star locked, like flyers, dragons.
Nah, Valoria's stat line alone is what kind of made me lean against it, whereas with Thea, she has skills that honestly, while new, could have been demoted by this point. We have Berkut's Lance, we have Barrier Blade. I think Vanguard coming down would probably be a logical progression of things, and a dual seal, given that we have had units like Ares in the past demote that, I'm not exactly surprised that if they were to demote it. Otherwise, she has nothing new, and not even a stat line to innovate with. So, if ever, like, in comparison to the Beast banner, the recent Beast banner, if ever there was a demote, it would have to be her.
I also
Yeah.
believe they said that
Mhm.
the skill Steady Posture was the 4-star skill, if she
Yes.
were to demote.
Yes, that is correct.
But-
And we had Raisin demote with that recently.
Okay, but
I think
it goes both ways. Okay,
I
yeah.
guess I think it'd make more sense for the seal to be it, but I mean, if that's what the datamine said, that's what the datamine said. So
I mean, yeah. Well, they also like keeping seals at 5-star for whatever reason.
Yeah, the double seals.
Usually when,
Because no one
especially when they're
wants
like
them.
new. That too.
Yeah.
You could do some very silly stuff with seals, but it's not gonna get too much use outside of maybe like your AR defense team.
Right.
The last time we had 2 potential demotes in KAIEN and Valoria just because of the skills hinting at it, and this time it's going to be Thea and Lugh because of the skills, but it's not guaranteed, and it's also not guaranteed by thinking like, oh hey, it's never happened before, so it's not going to happen, because eventually it's going to happen.
I actually don't think Lou's gonna demote because
I
he
don't
has
either.
a Serpent Tome.
I'm going to
and
second that.
Our other Serpent Tome user has not demoted.
Sure.
It's
sure.
a serpent tone. It's the rally
he has a
up.
rally plus. I think
Rally
that's
That
thing.
too.
He's got Nino's.
Oh, no.
He's
Oh, no.
just boneless Nino, but with like no preference weapon.
Yeah, no, he has significantly higher stats than Nino. Like, for reference, he has a 35 base attack, 36 base speed with a attack super boon, as well as being, of course, in the same BST bin as Cliff, the only other mage who has ever made it that high at 157. And then on top of that, he has a Serpent Tome, which is not as of yet demoted, and there's no Grand Serpent as of this point. He has a dual rally, which is both extremely valuable in arena, very powerful, arguably, and never has once demoted in itself. And then, of course, he has a Link, which has to this point been almost entirely seasonal exclusive, or just high 5-star lock.
Sure, but
So,
Okay,
Even though he has.
Wait, Lugh is a Link?
Yeah,
No, it's-
I mean,
isn't
sorry,
it Feint?
Feint. Sorry.
Feint. Oh
Feint.
yeah. Was it an attack feint?
Yeah.
Attack Feint,
Yeah,
yes.
it's attack
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, his skill kit is bonkers, as in like it's so abnormal because I think for most people who use him, they're gonna use him entirely differently. I mean, you could use it.
Problem. Here's the problem. If you decide to use him as a Blade Tome unit, he kind of comes off as just a worse version of Nino, considering that she has Iris's Tome to compete with. And if you decide to go with different route, well, then, for example, you have the Grand Owl set, which is just ever so slightly unorthodox for a unit that's lacking in his defense stat to justify it.
Sure, but how many defensive green heroes green mages are there? You already have Julia, Deirdre.
Bowie.
Yeah,
Well, Bowie's a physically defensive one. That
right,
being
but that
said,
covers another one.
having a speedy tank offensive res check can actually be pretty valuable in its own right, being able to not only sponge up mage shots, but potentially either avoid the double or do the double
What is
back.
his base What's his base res again?
31.
31.
And what's Soren's base res again?
29, if I'm not
20.
mistaken.
So when it's that close, usually people just go for the free-to-play hero because the merges mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Also has to do with the fact that he can have a far superior offense by raw, even though Soren does have his signature tome.
Right.
And of course you have the fact that he's fodder, but in general, if you
Yeah.
want to use him, it's like he's potentially very solid, and he can definitely make an enemy phase mage check work without much investment. Though I will have to agree that Soren, technically, by the fact that he's a free-to-play, like, 3-star unit, he could potentially outweigh Lugh if he's invested in.
I feel like Merrick would do that job a little better.
Merrick, if I'm not mistaken, is not a res tank, but a defense one.
Yeah.
True.
This just
Well,
has
he's
really
more-
high HP.
Yeah, his HP's still he's an HP sponge, so it works a little bit better because he can get away with doing something like a whatever his tome is with like Mystic Boost and just do some really silly shit. Plus, he also has access to Dark Excalibur, which puts him on a different level of offense power compared to the others, except for
Right.
Luke. But I think Luke
Right.
can work with like mixed face stuff. Like right now, I have like a green egg build with him because I had another Spring Camilla. So he's got that. He's got renewal. He's like kind of mixed phase because I also
Wait.
gave him.
You did green egg Lugh
Yeah,
with Renew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting
That's
choice.
pretty funny, actually.
he's a good egg. I tell ya what.
Give him like
Fair
Fury
enough.
4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fury 4, and you recover half that damage off for every fight. Perfect.
Just give him Mystic Boost to recover 2 every turn.
Everyone
Go.
talks about Mystic Boost, but it's not even like doesn't even show up as fodder that often.
That's
I
because
guess I
air's
think
too
it's because
expensive.
like air merges are so valuable
Exactly,
for
yeah.
AR.
Yeah, but if you can afford it, then yeah, Green Egg Mystic Boost on Lugh is probably his best build in my opinion.
Really?
I mean,
Especially when you can
imagine
use stuff
recover-
like attack defense bond. So
I-
like you can stick them near somebody and then like you can take physical hits.
I could.
Because by the
Also-
time you're done merging him, he'll have enough to at least take a hit from physical stuff. And then there's like
Wait,
if you
maxing
think about
out
what
Lugh.
physical yeah,
Okay.
if you can
Oh,
max out
jeez.
Lugh. Assuming he were to actually somehow drop to 4-star, he won't by the way, but imagine if he did. That'd be very strong.
It would be very, very strong.
Plus, at the very least, you can have him do that type of build while fighting mages. He can be like a mage version of whatever the fuck I do with Bowie, right?
I suppose. Yeah.
Hey, are you getting it?
No.
We kind of looking at all the units, we kind of can confirm that Book 3 has come with a VST bump up for most of the movement types.
Yep.
I haven't seen it for anything except for infantry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's
Skillet
it's,
has it.
it's
Flyers
pretty
too.
clear. It's pretty.
Flyers,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure have been consistent.
What?
Well,
Like, if I'm not mistaken.
Thea has 4 more
Flyers-
BST than say Shauna, so
Yeah.
Well, that's
there's
because-
something there.
That's because it's been a year since they made that BST boost.
I know, but they're standardizing it now.
I
Plus, I
mean,
think she also still has 4 more BST than what's her name, Tana? I have to double
Yep.
check.
She's Gen
10 is
2.
also from the same gen. Yeah, no, flyers have been in Generation 2 for a year, like Female Grima, Hot Springs Ryoma.
Oh, actually, I am looking at it.
Sumiya.
You are right.
Yeah, no, that one hasn't changed at all. In fact, at most we could assume something for Sue because she is higher BST than normal ranged cavaliers, but as of this point, she's on the same level as Lyn, both in terms of BST and level 1 stats, which leads me to believe that that's just not the norm, or it's just what they decided to do with Sue. But otherwise, nothing has changed, but infantry.
You sure? It just looks like they're standardizing things now. Again,
Well, this Gen 2 BST has been standardized for a while. It's just that they're continuing with it.
No, because I don't really consider it standardized until they put more heroes in it, because
It's been a year.
sure, but we don't have anything else there. It's just Shigure. That's it.
For Gen 2 flyers?
Demoted.
Shigure's hot.
Oh, demoted flyers. Then yes, you just have Shigure.
Because
Racing.
because wouldn't the goal be to drop them to 4-star and below and have more than just one option? Because right now, for infantry anyways, it's Soleil, Libra, and Shigure. That's it.
I believe so.
Yep.
I mean, you can argue Rutger is going to be an interesting infantry to mode now, but then again, that's a GHB.
Right. I mean, and that's what I'm hinting at. Like everyone, they're gonna give you more options to push the overall BST higher. Free options.
Right.
Man,
Over
if you
time,
can
I
count
think
the demotes with just one hand, that's pretty sad.
Demotes in the past 3 months or in the past year, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's been very minimal.
Yeah, ever since book 2 was wrapping up, the demotes have been pretty shit, man. Like, how many banners just had nobody drop because, oh, these story units, these special units, all this other whatever. It's like, come on, IS. At some point, you're gonna have to do something with your summoning pool.
Yeah, I will admit that the pool is definitely getting to a point right now where it needs to change. Because I think we're at about 300.
Yeah, that's.
We're approaching about 300 units right now. It's becoming harder and harder to focus on one unit.
But the worst thing is, I think people keep justifying it, like, oh, this hero, it's so good, that's why they didn't demote them. Oh, this hero, like, look at their skills, that's why they didn't demote them. At this point, you're justifying way too much. It's purely wrong. IS keeps up this practice, and people just quit the game because they don't. It's not healthy for the game to have so much locked away from, like, you gotta spend or at least commit orbs to it, and then they take away orbs. Remember that? Took away from 5 to 11 orbs a month. So
Right, that's right. Hashtag Orbgate, can't forget that.
Well,
Yeah.
like with the release of more and more heroes and no like solution to their like pull, is like it's gonna be almost impossible to get these demotes, even though they do happen.
Yeah,
Practically have to roll in the banners.
Yeah, that's another issue. Demotions don't really matter if you can't pull them to begin with, and at the rates we're going, it's not exactly as easy as it used to be. Like, it's been 2 months since Racin's demoted, and I've yet to even find him yet. And I've not seen a lot of people talking about him either.
oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
I managed to get like 4 or 5 4-star copies of Racing.
Yeah, that's about the same amount I got.
So it's
too.
really all about the luck, and it's
Exactly. Which, at this point, is becoming more and more difficult as the pool becomes larger and larger.
Right, like
Yeah.
even getting just a 4-star now, I feel like is more of a gamble than going for a 5-star that's featured on a banner.
Even
Yeah,
a
I haven't
star.
seen a tell to you ever since I plus Tinder, and that was months ago.
Well, let's put it
And he
this
comes-
way. I remember one analysis a while ago that said that during the Fire and Ice banner, for example, during the Voting Gauntlet banner that had Hellbindi and Leg Yarn on it, it was actually easier to get Leg Yarn to plus
Right.
10 than Sheeta. Just on the fact that it was so much harder to pull the right 3-star than a 5-star lock.
Right. And that's the problem with this game. It's everything comes back. Okay, the summoning system is inherently going to be broken. Just because of how
As time goes on.
yeah, well,
Yes.
as time goes on, it's already there.
Starting to show. It's starting to show. It's just gonna get worse.
Right. So the only way to fix this, and I don't know why I still hasn't done it, but a free-to-play pool, you know, like 3 stars and below, like I still really think like, oh, you have friends like there's a lot of other games where they have another summoning, right, for another pool, but it's only low rarity heroes, but IS like just refuses to do that, right?
Yeah, as of now.
They should have a way that they can separate like Gen 1 and Gen 1 from the rest of the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something that's a little along those lines, but it's like they made another summoning pool. They made like 5-star versions of like the some of like the Gen 1 and some Gen 2 units, and it's like you can get them at 5-star and 4-stars, and then all of the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 units that are currently 3-star, 4-star, or 4-star, 5-star, they're also in this pool, but they're all like 3-star, 4-star.
Well, no. I think 1-star, 2-star. This way it adds to the feather costs and stuff like that, just to balance it out. Like 1-stars, 2-stars, and then if you're really lucky, it's a 3-star. Instead of doing 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars. And then instead of using orbs, use another kind of currency in the game that's people can like work for.
Like arena medals.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think we always talk about this.
We always
Yes.
talk about it because it's so dumb at this point.
I just keep saying, just put them in a goddamn shop. I don't care. Just do it,
somewhere.
please.
Just put them somewhere. Come
Get them
on.
out of there. Damn it. I should not be pulling a 5-star Zura in a goddamn banner today. It makes no sense. Come on, IS.
See, that's the issue.
Right?
People when you pull for heroes nowadays, the Gen 2, Gen 3 heroes are so much better in general. They have better skills, better stats, better just about everything. And then you still have a chance of the Gen 1 heroes. It just disappoints people when they do get a 5-star at this point.
I think someone in my Discord server uninstalled Faye for like 5 minutes because they were going for Idunn and then they pulled a Luke.
Oh god. Jeez.
Good old Luke. Actually, let me...
I mean, in defense of those units, at least they're getting refines, but at the same time, it's still kind of, yeah. Especially in terms of their fodder.
Yeah,
I do
I'd say
wanna
like
say-
someone
yeah.
like Saber is still fine for the 5-star
yes.
pool.
Saber
But
is
someone like
great
Luke
now.
is just like he's like a merit tier in terms of
But
what the
why
fuck you
though?
going through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Skedaddle Skadook. Your next 5-star summon is Luke.
Exactly.
There's the picture I posted on the chat.
Yeah, I see it. Jeez.
I did want to say, although IS is like pretty unaware of this issue, like fixing their pool, do you think they're aware of their meta with the release of Idunn?
I think
think they are.
kind of are, actually.
I refuse to believe they're unaware. I'm pretty sure they
Well, let's
know.
put it this way. They had Deathblow 4 inherited on Reinhardt in a recent update as the example
Yeah.
for 4 skills.
That's not meta.
I think they
though.
know.
That's
That-
stupidity.
that's meta for a lot of normal people. At
Normal-
least to do that.
Oh
Three.
my god.
At least
They
they
see the
know.
Reinhardt, they see the Deathblow, they do it.
They know our community. Wink, wink.
Okay, I just want to talk about that real quick. Do people not realize how many situations of Reinhardt did you barely not get the kill? Like, do people
For
realize
your
it's
average player?
yeah?
Probably not as many because
probably
a lot
not
of
as
average
many.
players are not in tier 18 or above.
Right. And then are you also using him in tier 21? You can't use him like it just makes no sense. But
There's literally 1,000 people there.
exactly.
We could have if Roy's goddamn effect worked.
Oh yeah, that's it. But yeah, it's so stupid. Guys, if you have Deathblow 4, there are better options to use it. Reinhardt rarely struggles for his kills. If you do it for the points, just realize you're not taking him to tier 21. It's not going to be off this skill. So
Right.
it just makes no sense on
It's for
every degree.
AR, of course.
What? Oh,
It's obviously for AR, where you just have somebody's defense team that has like 5 Dumas and then a Reinhardt, and it's Anima Blessed. So the Reinhardt has like 80 attack.
oh.
Yeah. Just do that.
Yeah, there you go. Sounds very epic.
All right, but yeah, going back to the banner itself, we went so hot topic. Final thoughts on it. Jeez, this banner is the most interesting banner I've seen in a very long time. Generally, they stack the skills up, so I suppose they've been moving away from that because the last banner that we got from the Valentine banners with Grail's Devoted, they seem to be moving away from like the super like making a lot of obnoxious skills. and then just more focus on the stats, because Ike's stats were really good. Grill's were pretty okay, but I would kind of argue you already have somebody just like him. And this time around, Lugh, Sue, and Thea, they were all pretty. Thea's a better Tsubaki in every single way, and comparable to Shigure, just a slight shift from there. But yeah, they've made new heroes that have really good stats instead of really good skills, and that's really interesting.
Yeah, no, I definitely think they've been focusing a little less on the creep these days, skill, stat, or otherwise. Don't get me wrong, though. We still get a lot of units that are very relevant, like Valentine's Ike and Idunn are probably going to be all over the place now. But after especially these past couple months, the skills that they've been introducing haven't been as ridiculous, which isn't exactly to say a trend necessarily, because Sturdy Impact is a pretty obnoxious skill that we got in January. But that being said, they've definitely been doing a better job, or at least been doing a job at focusing more on just the units rather than making everything pile on top of each other more and more power. And I think that this current banner has come to show that, because other than Idunn, I don't seeing a lot here that's changing the meta for a whole new way. Like, sure, you have things like Rally Plus, Home Speed 4.
Okay, no,
but
I'm not gonna buy that.
It's not like it's changing a whole lot. It's just additional little bits that were adjusted to, and not exactly stuff that's completely revolutionizing things. Whereas, you go back a couple months, you have things like 2 extremely powerful dragons with very sought for skills, or you have Surtur and Ilger, who's either really good fodder or Surtur.
So that's the point. It's a different direction now.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is a nice little shift. I don't have to feel as pressured about the meta being changed by these units, other than maybe Idunn, but in a good way.
Okay, so here's the conspiracy here. Maybe IS actually hates Fates.
What's your reasoning?
They know that they did bad on it. They were expecting it to, because it went through development. Hell, they were expecting it to fail. It just didn't.
What? Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Like, they were expecting the game to fail when it came out. It just didn't fail.
Okay. I mean, in terms of FEH though, maybe they actually hate Fates because they release all the Fates heroes now. 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we're getting like a genealogy banner, and they're all like Generation 4 BST.
They're gonna be gods.
They're gonna be gods, and the Fates characters, like, nobody's gonna use them because they're like all Gen 1s, Gen 2s. That's it.
Yo, Ivol's gonna be godlike. I'm ready.
Maybe that's the master plan. That's the only thing. The only positive I see.
Good.
I mean, yeah. The later you come out, the better you are. It seems to be the way it goes.
Yeah, Pent will actually be a god in this game. I'm excited for that.
I'm
Just
like
he was in
hoping he
FE7.
comes out with Louise instead of like being a Farfetch'd
Separate.
banner, but I'll take either one.
Yeah.
Can we have them both together?
I would
Just have
appreciate
like
That would be. They belong together.
I know.
Right.
That
Have
idea
all,
sounds
have all
too
three of
good.
them come out. Have Pent, Luis, and Urk all in one banner. Yes.
That would be good.
Though speaking about that, I mean, CYL units seem to do have, like, the voting anyways, it seems to do push heroes to come out properly. Like, I think this was already mentioned before, but Idunn, how well does she do in the voting? Because the leak was based on the top voted heroes, and most of the top voted heroes outside Thea did make it in.
I think she
Binding
got
Blade.
second under Lilina for popularity for just Binding Blade.
If I'm not mistaken, Idunn got 83rd in the last Choose Your Legends.
Sure, but in terms of the banner itself,
In terms of units not in this game, it's she's the #1 for units that weren't in this game yet.
exactly.
As for units that were in this game, then she is second to Lilina.
Okay, but you see, that's the point. It's helping shape which heroes get released.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Choose Your Legends results have definitely reflected very well on the past few banners. The past 3 banners have been nothing but Choose Your Legends results that have been really high scoring.
Okay, now I'm thinking.
Not in Heroes.
Thinking about what Nim said earlier about how IS maybe hates Fates because they're releasing them early. What if IS actually loves Fates?
What?
And this is their plan? No, it's like a sandwich, right?
Oh.
They release some Fates characters, they put all the others in between, and then they end it with Fates. Again.
Oh god.
Brilliant.
Oh
And
yeah,
then it's all the Fates characters nobody remembers.
I wonder what the last Heroes banner ever will be.
Oh.
Well, that's
Ever
a
think about
speculation to have.
That'll be super indicative of the game.
Watch it be every single hero in existence in one banner.
No. That'll be so
It'll
funny.
probably suck because they'll be like, here, spend some money. We're never coming back to this game ever again. You know, like, I don't know.
They just give you like infinite summoning or something. Then the game shuts down. F.
Okay.
Big F.
I don't even want to think about that far.
Yeah.
We probably won't even be playing by then anyway.
I will.
I'm sticking till
will.
the end.
I actually,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm watching this dumpster fire burn. Let's go.
I want to see how this comes down. Like Heroes have been such a big part of my life for a year and a half at least now, so I do want to see
I'm
the
sticking
ending.
with it.
Hell, it started your streamer career.
Yeah,
I'm
it did.
just,
It
I'm
did.
just starting my. I'm just sitting there with Nefene, watching this place burn.
No saying that
end.
as a Path of Radiance fan. How sad are you that Randolph hasn't made it in? Or how about Hard Jill? Jeez.
Oh,
Well,
one day.
if we ever get a Path of Radiance banner, I think that most of those will be on it. If I had to say, based on popularity.
Yeah. Where's my boy Boyd at though?
Bowie.
Boyd.
Boyd.
Do you,
My Boyd.
Boyd.
I thought it was Boyd, not Grail. That still gets to me.
No, Boyd
I
and
know, right?
Rolf. Good old Rolf. Shinon better
what's
come with a
my-
Lugh Slayer. I'll be very upset if he doesn't.
Somebody will eventually.
Someone has to be racist.
Oh yeah,
He's like the perfect racist.
Actually,
That's
we already have a
perfect,
racist.
we do.
Oh yeah, we do.
And he dabs on the haters.
But
Oh
he
no.
doesn't have Lugh Slayer.
Oh, that's true.
Alright, I think, are we ready to move on?
Yep. Refines.
I'm not ready to move on.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm just mourning. Okay, I'm
it's
done.
time to move on.
all right. So as for the refinery,
Yeah.
so as of the last update, our refines were the Dark Aura Tome, wielded by Lind and Delthea, Dark Excalibur, wielded by Sonya and Merrick. You have Klein's Argent Bow, and then you have Sophia's Eternal Tome.
Okay.
So how about them?
I'm gonna promote a Klein.
You are?
Klein won.
Oh,
Yeah, I think for most people it's easily agreeable. Klein. There are no good free-to-play archers. Well, there are, but he's the lowest commitment possible because you literally just
Right.
have to get him. He comes with Deathflow, so you don't even have to get Deathflow. He has QR, which if you can somehow use it would be a great choice. Would be pretty good.
Make
a beast
Klein solos great
Yeah.
again.
And his bow's it's just so free. So he's easy. I don't even want to say it, but I think he was the biggest hero of the last refine.
I will
Yeah, he
say
got the big one.
Klein is- yeah, he got the real big one here because, for reference, his bow is an 8 might brave bow that only inflicts speed -2, which means that he has 31 neutral speed and 39 neutral attack.
It's basically
is-
the MIDI bow.
It's basically the MIDI bow. Very powerful at base. It makes him into one of the more viable archers, especially since he has Death Blow, so he has 45 attack and 31 speed. Just
And it'll
out
only
the
get
gate.
faster with merges, you know.
Exactly,
Yeah,
which are
just-
very accessible. And then on top of that, he has Chill Defense in his bow, which makes his quads even more effective.
Oh,
Or just as
potentially,
dou-
you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it really does go a long way to ruin certain defense tanks, which really can help him, especially
he
if you run
needs
like a
help.
Moonbow or Luna build. I mean,
Or
he'll need a
Aether.
little, but
well,
he gets a long way.
he is our first unit that could run double chill, right? Well,
Well, he's a second unit.
Yeah,
but
there's
he's our
several.
colorless unit.
He's our third unit at least because we've. And then you also have to include the seasonal weapons like Wagasa.
Okay,
and-
no. But from a
But,
refined
You know,
standpoint.
In terms of
From a
refined
refined
standpoint,
standpoint,
there
yeah.
was Soren and
Lilina.
Lilina.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually functions pretty good as a support in arena too.
Right. Which, given that he has colorless dual infantry accessible to him, very valuable.
Oh, he has so much value in the arena assault. That's what I see for sure.
Though technically, I think he's the first that has it as a refine itself. It's not in his base bow.
Right. That is also true.
But, yeah, that's what I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what he's getting at. He might be the better one, but I definitely want Sonya on my Aether Raids team.
I will say that.
defense.
That's what I was going to say. Honestly, Sonya is probably going to be the one that has more presence after this, refinery-wise.
Yeah,
Low
if she
down
didn't
Moonbow.
already have it. If you've seen what I've done with her so far.
I'm sick of seeing Ophelia's. I need big titties in my Aether Raids.
But guys,
Oh,
do you,
Oh,
yes,
she's
mommy,
kinda big
Sonya,
titties.
step on me. But yeah.
do you guys really think she's gonna be shown more often? Because the thing is, like,
I'm already seeing her more
cooldown.
often. Yes.
Cooldown was never really an issue for infantry teams. They would just run infantry pulse everywhere, and then she just gets instant special.
Yeah. So it was like instant glaciers. But now here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I can put Gwendolyn Winter Cecilia on the team while also still having my Sonya have instant glaciers. This makes the entire team just extremely more threatening because I don't have to stack as many infantry units. Even though infantry is strong, but having a very prominent armored duo that is sitting in the front lines instead of the back lines, because that's how you do it. That's how you do it in AR now. You put your defense in the front, your offense in the back. So you have these two powerhouses sitting in front, and then you have Sonya with her one-shotting special that one-shots almost anything in the entire game unless you stack very, very hard amounts of res without buffs, mind you. And it's nuts. Like, it's pretty wild. I love it. Like, she's definitely gonna have more presence than like
She
an
deserves
Ophelia,
it.
especially considering the fact that you don't have to worry about hardy bearing and stuff like that because it's like it's a glaciers. It's one hit and it's over. Unless you hit her first with like a witchy one and reset her cooldown, that shit's unblockable, by the way. And then if you put close counter advantage on, and then you like set yourself up to get hit by a bolt trap, that's an unblockable right there. Unless you put on your own hardy bearing, but who's gonna do that?
not only that, but because she -2 herself automatically, you can play things like tactics instead of having to depend on infantry to lower her special cooldown.
Oh,
with
yeah, that's true.
infantry pulls.
Right.
Right.
So tactics team, it's like you have one pulse and her, and then quick impulse, and boom, instant glaciers.
The synergy is going to be way better, in my opinion.
Yeah, she definitely will fit in a lot better with a lot of team compositions. Not to mention the fact that she can just, well, if she's in a mage composition even, she can just, there's no need for as many pulses because it can just have multiple mages that are all nukes piling in, rather than having to have maybe one or two mages at most and then have everybody pile dive on with pulse support, which, while its effectiveness can be sometimes disputed, is a very popular tactic. And given that this only requires a refinery on Sonya as opposed to having to have multiple infantry pulse units, quick impulse on Sonya, etc., I think it's definitely going to make a lot more flexibility and a lot more popularity for that particular unit. Which, over the past couple of days, I've actually already seen a Sonya or two, so I can definitely say that
Okay, what was the
she's
build?
probably... if I remember correctly, the one I did see was like a Dark Excalibur refined build, similar to Ophelia, except maybe it was Blazing Thunder. I try to erase it from memory because I remember that did not end very well. But no, it was basically what you would imagine on Ophelia, but more so for Sonya.
Anyone seen a Merrick?
Merrick, no.
Not with this.
Actually, no.
Not with this. No.
Not yet.
I mean, it helps him. It's not, catered to stat spread, but it still helps him for sure.
It
In
helps
theory,
him, but-
in theory, you can get really close to what you can do with Sonya. Keep in mind, my Sonya is only at like a 51-52 attack. If you can get your, because Merrick is free, like you can plus 10 him with a plus attack IV, do the same thing, but instead instant Ignis instead of instant Glacies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he has a shitload of HP, so it's going to be a little bit harder to do. So you might have to use something like Raven and stuff instead of like maybe like a middling HP unit. Like for my Sonya, I use like Celica and May and stuff like that for like Sonya pulses. But
Yeah.
Sonya pulses.
Merrick has like a lot of HP, so your
43.
pool of but by the time you plus 10 them, it's like 47 plus the refine and
It doesn't
You
change
know.
it. But
oh yeah, he's range. But yeah, 47 is a little bit hard to like receive pulses. Like my Azama has like 48 HP, so he barely like has enough HP to do that.
Would you do it though?
Yeah.
Because Excalibur, like Merrick already has the refine, and that other refine adds 5 attack, 5 CP during combat. Also accelerate special cooldown triggered by 1. So you're trading the 2 instant cooldown versus plus 5 attack speed.
Yeah. And the fact that it's also effective against flyers.
Of
Which
course,
starts
the only
out-
reason why you would do this is because it's 10 flat damage. Most people are going to like underestimate what the flat damage does, especially for somebody like throwing in an Ignis boost or something.
Yeah.
Especially considering if you can throw in blessings as well. That's when things get dicey, and that's when people start either just straight up underestimating things or getting cocky and throwing their red unit in front, thinking it's going to live, and then it dies for like 60-70 damage.
Right. Flat damage is something that should never be underestimated. It's a very powerful buff, which is what makes Sonya so distinct from other instant special units. Though at the same time, Merrick having not exactly as great of an offensive spread and having an already fantastic refine that can give him some nice slaying builds, like you can do slaying spiral stuff and still have some pretty interesting works. And then having the effectiveness against flyers, where flyers do make up a considerable portion of the Ether Raids meta. There's still strengths that he plays to very well that
Yeah,
make
I like his
less likely.
Yeah, I do kind of like his normal weapon because you can give him special spiral and bonfire and just do bonfire loops with him, where
Right.
he always has bonfire up, which is like really strong on its own, especially with all the flyers around. So yeah, I kind of get what you're feeling, but if you just really like the Sonya gimmick, but you don't have Sonya or you can't pull her, then like it's definitely not a bad thing to go for.
Right.
And it was his last chance to be good, so he got a pretty good weapon, I guess, for...
Merrick got a lot of help.
Yeah.
Actually, like looking at another refine at Sophia's, I think IS is kind of paying attention to actually like what people are building and what people are using, because
Yeah, that's why they stole my Bridal Ninian build and gave it to the new Legendary Zura.
Yeah. But a lot of people I know that I've seen Sophia's are either like plus 10 and they have close counter on her.
Yep.
And I assumed that they were gonna give like maybe close counter to her weapon, but have it be a situational kind of thing.
Mhm.
But they actually made the refine so it kind of complements close counter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because most people usually either run a Raven Tome or Owl Tome on Sophia, and either way, she usually tends to run an enemy face build and runs close counter, where her refine gives her that extra defense and extra res in the enemy phase, which
Okay.
can make her a good
it's-
physical check on both fronts.
But that's the point. Like, why did they go? Because from my perspective, most of them ran raw owl. That's what I saw.
I have
Mhm.
seen
And close
maybe
counter.
two,
I always saw
but a
Owl.
lot more
I
Raven.
used Owl.
Sorry.
I used Owl too, so yeah. I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
that's what I'm saying.
I kind of wish it was like a Raven Tone, Owl Tone combination.
That'd be too
It's-
broken.
That'd be ridiculous.
Good. It's
Raven's
it's
underrated, fight me.
Let's break this game.
There's some good colorless units that are nice to check with it. Raven can definitely have its own uses. as a
Also,
tome.
it wouldn't be that absurd because we've already had a weapon that refined into an owl tome with Soren.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think that it's entirely improbable. It's just that instead they decided to focus more so on the fact that she wants to be an enemy phase unit, so they decided to give her more bulk. And realistically, Owl Tome, the only thing she gets out of that extra is her attack stat, whereas, well, where the speed is almost entirely non-factor. So I
Okay.
guess they didn't feel it was necessary.
But here's the thing. You gotta pour one out for Leon. My man is
he
out
got
of date
cut.
now.
Oh yeah, press F for my boy Lion.
I'm so sorry for Leon. Like, he has a better stat line and GHB status. You can say whatever about that, merges or whatnot. But then again, Sophia's 3 stars, so again, say what you will. But Naglfar is just objectively worse now, and it's very unfortunate.
Oh my god, it pisses me off. I made a Leon. And here's the thing, I don't even use him anymore. We're at the
Actually,
level of Arena Assault and Arena where you don't fight archers anymore. He just sits there in my barracks doing nothing. And now he's gotta cry too for the Sophia bullshit.
Oh no.
I mean, he's still. I use him as a TA check, but that's really about it. The only reason why a Leon right now otherwise is really relevant is if you want to counter something like Duma, which, depending on your setup, might actually be a decent advantage.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean that's still like I mean TA Raven blows him up, and so does like any sort of other armor or Dragon Slayer. So it's like unless you're just really hurting for one, then I don't really see too much of a point in using it.
Those
Especially
Yeah.
considering that merging him requires grails, and it's like
yeah,
I mean, you can get
You
him to
gotta put that
+3
for-
raw, but
Mhm.
that's
But, you know,
not good enough. in my
Yeah.
book.
there are better units for the grail pool, like Winter Cecilia, that are just way
Right.
too important to work on.
Yeah,
before
and
you even consider Lion.
you wouldn't even need to consider it because Sophia's just a much better option at this point.
yeah. I mean, again, at base, Leon has it a little better than Sophia, but Sophia has more merges that she can do, whereas, like, if you want to make a +10, do Sophia no matter what. Leon is more so if you like the guy, or if you want somebody that's just quick out of the box. Like, if you +1 merge him, he's already going to look better than a +1 Sophia in general. But realistically, once she's refined, it's over for Leon, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, we know. But saying that, I wanted to know how many heroes are in your barracks that you want to use, but are just find no use anymore.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I actually have no way of counting that because I like to 5-star everything.
Okay, well,
I mean,
you have a
everything.
problem.
I definitely have a ton I don't touch ever anymore.
I mean, same here. I have a ton of units. If they're not blessed, they basically don't exist, unfortunately.
So let's hear it from you guys then. For me, right away, Leon's one of them. I gave him QR3. I was like, wow, I'm gonna use him every single week because those stupid Brave Lins are everywhere. And then, they all disappeared because we went up way too many ranks.
Yep.
For me, it's my wife. Like, I just want to +10 my loot, but it's just not happening right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
is it? So it's
I
like
feel.
I can't max her out, so it's like I don't really get to use her as much as I'd like to.
I feel that. I will say, I actually use my Leon an awful lot as a TA check. Not Raven check, just the TA part, because I have a lot of dancers. I can usually use them to two-shot a lot of the tanky greens like Surtur. It has its own advantage, but I don't get to use them for what he's inherently good for. On the other hand, for units that I don't use, oh god, I have so many. Like, I could talk about my Alencia, or I could talk about the time where I decided to promote female Robin.
I can't believe you would do that.
Oh, I did. I tell you, I promote everything. But here's the thing: the Robin has nothing inherited to her. She's just 5-star.
Why'd you do that then?
I like
You're supposed to have a
collecting
plan.
stuff. I like collecting stuff. It looks shiny.
5-star level 40 for every character in the game.
That's basically what I'm doing. But that also leaves a lot of units off the bench, on the bench for a long time, until they get some
man.
use. Like with my Oliver, who is actually one of my favorite units to use right now.
You like using Oliver. Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. I have like this really sweet Legault that I never get to use.
Oh yeah.
Same here, man.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember you talking about him when he first came out. You were so excited.
We thought the range was gonna be so stupid on him.
Oh yeah, except it just fucks him up.
And it didn't stack, and I was like, all my hopes and dreams were crushed.
Wait, you didn't do it, right? You inherited it.
I did do it.
Oh
I
my
gave it
God.
a range. I tested it out personally just to see if it would work.
That's so dumb.
I had a pity break 5-star Male Morgan, so I was like, fuck it. Let me see how I do. It didn't work. So I ended up giving him Cloud Mayogi from like a Festival of Valencia.
Wait, you're not
I
even
used
using
it
the
for
cleaner? Are you
Arena
kidding
Assault.
me?
You're not using the
Cleaner's not
ever.
even that good.
It can be very good.
I mean, it's
but I
good,
understand your point.
But it's like the meta shifted, and it was like, he's actually pretty strong against dragons. So I'm gonna make him a dragon killer, and now I use him for arena assault, except for the part where I don't even do arena assault.
Yeah, that's kind of I feel you there.
Oh,
It's
boy.
it's like you want to, but IS has gone so full retard that it's like, why even bother?
Yeah.
I still actually enjoy Arena Assault legitimately. I've done 2 runs today, but
I will say Arena Assault is definitely way more enjoyable than Arena.
I wish you could
Yeah.
just save in the middle of it. I know that kind of defeats the point, but
Wait,
Yeah.
can't you? Can't you just stop playing?
I mean, you
Yeah.
can stop playing, but you can't.
Oh,
You
you
like,
can't do
Can't
anything.
close that.
Yeah, it stops at that.
can't do
at
anything
that point.
else.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
Um,
sense because it requires you to prepare more, and you can't just start
No.
like inheriting stuff.
You shut up there.
Maybe.
It's messed up by
I mean,
voting
like you
gauntlet.
wouldn't be able to change stuff, but I wish you could just like suspend a run somehow. I don't know. That's the
you
only
just
thing I don't
put
like
the-
about it.
Oh yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like, if you want to leave it, do something
Yeah.
else in Heroes and come back. I
Yeah.
get it.
Voting
but
gauntlet. It's messed up voting gauntlet.
Arena Assault messed up Voting Gauntlet.
Yeah, because you have to every 30 minutes. You got to do a run.
Yeah.
Actually, they're making a change to that soon, from what the Datamine showed.
What?
Where
Yeah.
basically, at the start of every hour, you'll get some resources that you can use to participate whenever you wish.
So wait, what are you supposed to be doing then?
So
It's
basically, like, you can do your 2 runs at the beginning of the hour or something like that, or you can do them whenever you want. Just, you get the resources at the
You
beginning.
can do
of
your
every
runs
one.
whenever, instead of being restricted by a 30-minute timer.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
But
Yeah, they're making that
you're,
shit
you're
more
limited to how
bonuses.
many runs you could do in an hour.
Right.
That's fine. I just don't want to be
Sure.
like a slave checking my clock, telling Google, hey, check every 30 minutes. Tell me, beat me
Oh
up.
yeah,
no, they-
Alexa,
yeah.
set a timer.
They finally
Oh, man.
realized that was a bad thing, and they're going to change that. They
Yeah, because like they expect you to do 2 every hour on the hour, and it's like, I can't do that. I have a life. I have
Yeah.
work. I can't.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh man. it's
Another really big factor as to why nobody liked Voting Gauntlet was trying to no life it. It
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck? You can't no life this shit. This is who the fuck got time for this?
Yeah, especially, okay, TGP, you are so right. When I was working and trying, it didn't even occur to me, oh, hey, half an hour passed. I can't go on my phone at work. And it's like bonuses. And then by the time I come home, it's all same.
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
same.
Yeah, good luck explaining to your boss. Yeah, I'm on my phone because there's like this incredibly important voting thing happening in my game on my phone. So don't mind me playing it for like a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Get off your phone or go home.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Oh,
so
man.
stupid. But that was what we had to deal with. And I've done bad in temp. Like, I've just given up on waiting for final hours and stuff. I just use it way early because there's just no way I can do it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
'cause,
blame you on that.
What day did the final day of the Soren versus Morgan fall into?
That was on the weekend, wasn't it?
It was a Whims.
No, it was. Sorry, you're right. It was. It was just same train to end off things, and they had bonuses, but it was at work. I remember now. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep.
That day is the day after I got out of work. I passed out for like 12 hours. So I just missed that entire day, and I just couldn't do anything. I
Yep.
felt bad.
Sounds like me in Grand Conquest.
I don't even do Grand Conquest. I literally don't. I just lost my
I
passion.
auto
for it.
battle like
Auto.
whatever the crested timers give me, and then I fuck off. Like I'll wake up, get ready for work, auto battle Grand Conquest, turn it off, and then I don't check it again, so I come home. But these days, that's like 11, 12 hours later.
Not to mention, like at my job, we have no Wi-Fi So
Oh, no.
And these
Oh.
buildings are old as shit. So
Oof.
good luck getting signal in. It's horrendous.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Also to kind of go back on the topic of units we never use,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest unit for me is Jenny. I
Jenny.
just don't use her anymore.
Really?
What? She's still so good. You just get her a
And
dancer.
she is so good. I love her to death. I've given her every staff possible. But it's like, lately, personally, I have not had a use for her anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Do you have
It's
Koa's
depressing.
dual infantry on her?
No, I don't. I haven't pulled another one.
Oh dear.
I still think that's so dumb. We had to sacrifice these premium heroes. Do you really want to sacrifice Loki for Colors Dual Infantry for Jenny? That, like, just
I
say that out.
would.
I mean, I would have
Sacrifice
had
Loki for
multiple.
Klein.
Here's the thing: merging Loki makes such a big difference. You want more HP. Jeez.
Okay, but here's the thing. That's a 5-star exclusive unit. When you can plus 10 your Klein, your Sentinel, your Jenny,
No,
or
no,
whatever.
just for her.
Just +1. Just +1.
Just +1. You want her to use her staff to the full ability in things like Ether Raids.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that totally.
So
Now,
good.
now
Here's
here.
another thing too. I also like Loki.
Ah, there you go. It's so hard.
Wait,
Yes,
I got a
it is.
counter offer. Just
What?
give her 6 flowers.
That doesn't work.
Hey,
Not to mention, I have to kill like how many? 50, 40 of those trials just for like enough for what? 5 flowers, if even.
It's
Okay.
like 4 flowers for everything.
we should talk about that because how have your flower grindings gone, guys?
I've almost
Terribly.
finished all of them.
Oh my god, really?
There
I
are
can-
like 15 left I haven't done, and that's because I'm waiting to get a 5-star of those units before I do them.
Yeah, I'm actually I've been doing quite a few of them. I have enough to get 6 flowers, but I don't like giving incomplete. I prefer to do like the full 10. So you won't ever see flowers on Nefany until I get the full 10.
Jeez.
Oh no, I went to Legion knowing I wouldn't have the full 10. I'll have 9 by Monday, but I'm doing that now because I want to be as far as I can, and then just keep going.
You guys are blowing my mind because I've been grinding it. Just a 2-flower grind is so ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't take that much time, but when
made
in
it
comparison
fun.
to the new heroes, like getting a new hero at 40 flowers versus 2, 20
it's
runs
really-
versus 1.
I mean, every flower counts, and I've been able to, just by doing all these 2s, nearly getting the 9th one on Legion by those alone. I've done about, for reference, about 250 of the ordeals at this point. And
Have fun.
oh no, I do, because one
Oh,
thing
yeah.
I like, whenever I do it, I do one of 2 things. I either have other people choose what I have to do for it to make it a little harder, or I do it with some sort of theme team so I get to have a little bit of fun, pretending like I'm in the game or something.
Wait,
I make
I'm
it-
bringing Legendary
I-
Zero every single run.
Same here. Bring
I
Legends.
did it for the last, I did it for the last few because they were very hard.
Wait, a theme team? There's only 2 heroes. How do you make a theme team?
Exact. Well, for example, if I were to do Zephiel, I would do Zephiel and Idunn. Or if I did Martha, I'd do Martha and Sheeta, Groom and Bride.
Okay.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
see, that's cute. Yeah.
That's cute, but it
Yeah.
adds so much more extra time. Oh man.
I mean, I don't mind that. I had like an hour or 2 and I just sat around doing these ordeals.
It's so depressing. You don't even like. For me, I don't even want Lugh because of Lugh. I want him because of his 40 flowers.
Oh shit. That's been on my mind too. It's like I want I want those flowers. And here's the
Yep.
thing, I don't mind grinding 2 flowers. It's so monotonous. It's just like half an hour later I've just gotten like what? How many flowers? 120 flowers or something like really?
No. And the thing is too is you have to grind these units just to get 2 flowers. Who the fuck is gonna grind a mist to get 2 flowers?
No one.
Actually, I have
Okay,
a
maybe
plus-
Lulu will, but nobody
I mean,
else.
I have a +1 plus
I don't
attack
even think
mist.
he likes her.
I have a
Oh yeah,
+1
he's
plus
like
attack
he's more
mist,
about
so I do.
looks.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's just like
Seriously, what they could do with the flowers is give people a legitimate avenue of grinding, because that's what this game really needs sometimes. Is just an
Yeah.
honest grind. And it's like,
yeah, honestly, it shouldn't
let you have
been.
like a character who's in infantry, and
Mhm.
you do it repeatedly, and
It drops in
it can be
efficiency.
hard. It
Right.
can be super hard, but you're guaranteed one flower every time. So you do it a few hundred times, you get used to it. You set up yourself a routine or whatever, so you can grind yourself out all the flowers you want.
Right.
Of course, gacha games don't really like that kind of thing,
No
but
way.
you know, it's a good idea. I know this game doesn't like good ideas, but hey, come on,
No,
I mean,
we could use something.
I
mean,
wish it
like-
wasn't like. I wish it was not like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
I wish it was like you can
I
do it
know
over
it's
over. I'm not expecting it to give me 40 flowers each and every time I do it. That's fine. You can reduce the price cost afterwards. Hell, make it even timed, or you can't do it for a week. You have to wait a week to get like
Yeah.
At
to
least.
get reduced
So it's
prices.
like an additional 40-something flowers a week, or 40-something flowers a month, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
it's-
like that.
It's like you get the full 40 at first, but then after a while, you can only get like 10 or something minuscule to like give us something.
Keep you coming
please.
back, make you feel like you're
Yes.
doing something.
Yeah.
Instead of the intense drip feed that we have
Yeah.
right now, especially considering you don't even get infantry flowers every week in AR. I thought
No.
you did
No.
it first, but no, it cycles out, and
Yep.
it's actually kind of depressing.
It's cancer on
It
infantry
is.
I don't
right
like
now.
that.
It is. It's the worst.
I'm actually
mean-
thinking about that. I think like a monthly thing would be cool, like in a sense where, no, this might be a bad idea, so maybe they'll listen and they'll take it. But like let's say okay, for like book 1 units, right? We get 2 flowers.
Yep.
And so let's say you do that, and then you're done. Next month you can redo that hero's trial,
Exactly.
but you're only gonna get half the flowers.
Perfect. I like that.
And every month it refreshes, and you get half the flowers. Of
Nice.
like what the hero
One
was.
flower per month.
I'd be fine with that.
I know.
It's better than like 2 and done forever.
Yeah.
That's actually really good, because that's like if you have 100 infantry units that you have trained up, that's 100 extra flowers a month.
Yeah.
And then the ones that start with 40, they go to 40 to 20 to 10 to 5, and then to 3 to 1.
Or you could just
It's
have
like-
them, or you could have them on different cycles. Like the 2s are maybe once a month, whereas the 40s are every 6 months or something like that.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
Something like that. Yeah.
You know how people have just like gotten used to assuming you'll have all the flowers? I've literally had people in the comments being like, "Hey Nims, why are you talking up Legendary Roy so much? He can only have 5 flowers." And I just cannot hold myself like, have you seen 10 flowers yet? How many times are you gonna reach 10 flowers on anything? It's just like, it's so difficult right now. It's a great system, it's a great concept, but it doesn't really work like the way that they really intended it to.
Yeah, it's limited to such a point where you're reasonably. I mean, I'm fine with it not being like more than maybe 2 units for the normal person on average in a reasonable amount of
why?
time. Well, more so because it's kind of like a half a summoner sport. I'm fine with them like waiting a little while. You have to do a lot of work if you want to make a plus 10 on this one unit. But I don't want it to be to such a point where that's all you'll ever be able to do when you're kind of stuck at that point.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna
And
say.
that's if you have all your resources combined.
I don't mind even waiting a month to plus 10 flowers a hero. I don't even mind that much time. It's just I don't even think it takes more than a month at this point.
It's reasonably about a month and a half or so.
That's too
It
much.
depends on how your infantry units are going.
Okay, but keep in mind it's not sustainable. It's a month and a half for one hero today. Next
Yep.
hero, how much is it? How much time is it?
Exactly. That's
Not
the main
sustainable.
issue. Like I'm fine with them like maybe every 2 months or so you have one unit, but not like 2 months you have one unit. 8 months later you're still working on your next. Like
No.
I kind of am fine with it, but I'm also wishing no, not really.
Not to mention, if they do have it repeated, those units that you built one time just to do these will actually have use.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd actually have more
Mhm.
use out of fodder units, making you encouraged to keep them longer.
Oh, which hero
Which of
is
course has one major issue, and that's barrack space. But I mean, unless you're like me, you're probably not going to cap that off just by doing that.
it? I remember working on a hero to level 40 just so I can get the 2 flowers from them because I had extra stamina. I was just like, oh, well, I guess this is what it's coming down to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. See, eventually I'll hope it'll be nice to where it's like, you know how if you do just arena and arena assault and you just do it normally and get your stuff, you can potentially make a merge are you have like at least 20,000 feathers every week and a half, every
roughly.
2 weeks. Once we get to that point, I think it'll be really great though.
Yeah. I mean, plus 10 per 2 weeks would be ridiculous, but
No,
I don't think so.
On
I
track.
mean, look at how many infantry are in the game. Like 2 weeks times 100 weeks, you have like 200 weeks that it would take to get at least a chunk of the infantry units that you would want done. Not to mention, they might cycle it out between other move types as well.
yes.
So it might even be even longer than that. But so it's like 2 weeks for a unit. It may not be a infantry unit, but it can be a unit. You gotta make it feel like you're progressing as the time goes by. Like when I first started doing merge projects for like the other units I used to use, like Gwendolyn and like Bowie and shit, it was like,
yeah.
it felt exciting to play Arena, not because Arena was super fun. It was kind of fun, but it was because at the end of the week, I know I made progress on something. I felt like I was progressing. And right now, when it comes to the Dragonflowers, it doesn't feel like I'm doing shit at all, but waiting weeks to months for shit, for like the flowers to come out or the grails to show up. It's the same thing with grails too. Like,
Yeah.
Grails suck. They don't suck as much as flowers yet anymore, but they still suck.
Okay, but you have to keep in mind the discrepancy too. The way this game has been set up, how long does it take you to level a hero from 1 to 40?
10 seconds.
10 seconds or 20 minutes is what I would realistically say. Because if you just go into the proper modes, and at this point, for new players it might take longer, but like I have EXP whatever skill for a lot of heroes, Valor skills for a lot of heroes. It's so easy to max level them out. So why is it that it's so easy to max level a hero, but for everything else, like for flowers, it's just exponentially, significantly longer? Like it's so inconsistent, you know, leveling 1 to 40, so easy. Leveling, doing everything else, so difficult.
Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, but speaking of all of that, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, units. Final units.
We also, yes.
The final units that you guys think that have not aged well.
Units that haven't aged well.
That is a good question.
The first person that comes to my head, and it's always been this person, is Xander.
What?
Yeah.
Xander,
Chemist
kind
too
of.
ugly.
Yeah, Xander and Camus.
Fair.
Camus.
They've aged better than a lot, but they've also not aged perfectly either.
Honestly, I think anyone with a basic DC weapon that doesn't have like a bonus effect to it.
Yeah,
Nah.
the DC weapons, they're still...
Yes and no,
they're still-
because like the infantry ones, like Ryoma and Bjorn, is like they have access to like really ridiculous skills that really make up for their somewhat underwhelming stat line. They take really great advantage of the flowers should you give them to them. But for the built-in DC units like Xander and Camus, it's like they don't have access to any of that stuff.
But
And now that they just don't feel that great to use.
they have access to merges. So
Yeah. I mean, both my Camus and my Xander are +3 right now.
yeah.
Very, very accessible DC units, which I find very nice. Because most distant counters
only thing-
not that accessible.
Yeah. Only really what's holding them back is like they're on horses. But yeah, other than that, the merged accessibility for the built-in DC units is pretty limited to just the horses who have it worse off than the rest of them in the first place.
Well,
I mean,
when you consider someone like Ryoma, I think he's also pretty bad off too. I don't even see Ryomas anymore, for that matter.
oh, I don't see Ryoma at all. Like, his
Well,
stat line
yeah.
isn't that great, but it's
It was like the
decent.
best at
it
the
was
time.
the best at the
time,
time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
He's also 5-star locked, and he hasn't had a banner in a good minute. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course you're not gonna see him anymore.
But that's the point. You still see Xanders. You still see Camus. I
Yeah,
just saw one in Ether Raids recently.
Oh yeah, I still see them in Ether Raids, especially.
I
Like,
saw
see it
Xander a few
shows?
months ago, but that was it.
they still are pretty popular, and their stats at least decently hold up. Like, Xander's defense is still very commendable. But at the same time, of course, they're not exactly, like, record breakers or anything. Not even
Okay,
close.
they were. Let's not
They
even
were.
hold it
No,
on
they
them.
were.
Come on, that's the point of this.
They were.
Who did not age
Yeah,
well?
They did not age. They did not. They do not hold up as they used to.
Here's another
They're still
one.
relevant, but they're not breaking anything.
What?
Vanilla Azura.
What? What?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Utter
No, I
trash.
agree.
What? You
I
all
agree.
know she's gonna get a refine, and she's gonna be a
Oh, I know
god,
she will. I
a
know she
goddess.
No
She just
dancer
hasn't
is
aged.
not
Okay, let me put it
refined
this
yet,
way to
if
you.
Think about it.
You're right.
Of all
This
her
is only two.
of all the Azura lineage,
Yes.
would you ever even remotely look at her and use her?
I use her every week.
You
Yeah,
so
you
you'd
also
rather
have
use her over
Murderous.
Legendary
Well,
Azura?
yeah. I also use Legendary Azura every week.
Yeah, because Legendary Azura is retarded, like retarded good. It's
Exactly.
insane. It's like I
Legendary
would never go
Hero.
back to that. Like no. The only
Yeah.
good infantry one is performing
Minion.
arts.
I also use
yeah,
her
yeah.
every week.
Young Azura.
I'm talking about Azura as a
Just
whole.
as
Azura
her in
is
general,
awesome.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought you meant just dancers in general, but no.
Oh yeah, Nini. I'd rather use Nini over Azura.
Oh, dude, Minion's freaking sick, dude. She also has access to like the crazy shit. Not to mention, you can do like lightning breath, wrath, and like
You really,
fierce breath on her, and
You're-
she like puts the fucking work in. She's pretty amazing.
but she has like under 40 attack.
Doesn't matter. You have wrath.
Okay.
You have lightning breath. You have access to steadies. Like you can patch that attack up like very easily. Attack is very easy to patch up.
Fine. Fair enough. But here's another character that I think really needs to refine already. It's my girl. It's my girl Owen. She. Here's
Dire
the-
Thunder
Dire
refine
Thunder
would imply
refine.
2 Dire Thunder refines.
I don't think you
I don't-
have to go that direction though.
They would
They're
do it.
gonna
though.
do it.
They
I
have
guess they
to.
kind of did it for Falchion.
Yes.
The reason they did it for Falchion is because it's different types of Falchion. but
And they're also
Dire
different sprites.
Thunders, but Owen's Dire Thunder and Reinhardt's Dire Thunder are the same weapon.
Yep. Same sprite, same animation, same name, same effect.
I think you're giving
Whereas
IS
those
too
Falchions
much
were-
credit.
So yeah, you refine Dire
Different
Thunder
sprites.
for Olwen, you're gonna refine Dire Thunder for Reinhardt.
Yep.
I mean, what
And,
you could do at that point is just make sure
Probably
it's something that's
How about they
gonna
just make a
be
new weapon?
beneficial for Owen.
Sure, but how about they
For
make
example,
something new?
built-in, like it could be like a desperation refine.
What? Oh. Huh. She is still being used as a quad hero, so fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Whereas
Reinhardt, they
we
give
get Brash
him
Assault.
no, they
Yeah,
give him
that's
Death
No, you have a
Blow.
Brash Precision.
No.
Yeah, you can do Braspiration on, but I mean that's not super crazy in
I mean,
comparison to
yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you gave him literally anything else, like if you built Vantage into his weapon or their weapon, or
Well, if you build Vantage into his weapon, congratulations, you get hit with 45 attack once.
unless they
Like-
have Fierce Stance and other. silly
Congratulations, you
things.
get hit by 51 attack once.
Hey, that's still damage, especially if he has a proc up. Like he hits you with like something like a 4 cooldown hit where he initiates, he lives, he's in Vantage range. Yeah, try to counter attack, but he also has close counter, and then he procs his, I don't know, Ignis? Dragon?
Interesting
I don't know,
way to
something
work
like
with
that.
Dire Thunder.
Yeah, but at least at the very least it won't be super broken on them, unless they
Yeah.
refine it and it's a master, and and they just give him his true Thracia 776 hellhole nature.
Yeah, if they were to give Meisterschwert to both Dire Thunders, that would probably be.
I mean,
think it
that's
would
his
be interesting
original
on Owen,
effect.
but it'd be scary on Ryan.
Yeah, not to mention, like like Reinhardt is nothing in comparison to what he is in Thracia. Like we
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have
no.
100% Vantage.
Okay.
Imagine
but-
that on both Reinhardts, where he always attacks first no matter what you do, unless you have a hold.
Don't get me.
But most
that
characters are
Reinhardt.
better in the original game, so I wouldn't take that argument.
I
either.
would not argue that.
That is true.
I would not argue that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna argue that, especially the people who main Seth and Titania and Matilda.
I mean,
No, I'm
that's what
saying
makes
I
them
don't.
being better
There's
in
a
their
lot of
game.
characters who aren't better in their original game. Like Carla sucks ass.
Oh yeah, Carlos sucks. Sue isn't all that
Lynn
great.
isn't that good.
I mean,
Sue
Sue's
is
not that good.
their Shin is better. I don't know.
Sue isn't that great here. Isn't particularly fantastic here either, but she's not bad.
I'd still argue generally they're better in this game, especially with especially when we consider everything you can do with a character in this game.
Yeah, it's just like Gwendolyn and Sophia.
How about Baruka?
Yeah.
Those two.
I don't remember
what
what Baruka was like, to be fair.
I can think of another unit that isn't aging well. They're still relevant, but they aren't aging well. It's because there's been much better units of their movement type and class.
Who?
And that's Elise, my girl.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
She used to be the best healer.
It took a long time.
Yeah, but
to
she was like
dethrone her.
the best in a pile of trash, and like her best was still basically nothing. Although people like to argue that she was good, but no, she wasn't.
She was still pretty
even close.
good.
She was
She
good.
was passable.
Okay,
and that
there's a
was
gun
just
against
the
your head right
offense.
now. She was good.
She was good. No, she was good.
She
for
was
a
good.
time.
Eclipse
What
is
about-
heavy, nigga. She was trash, y'all.
What about? Oh, ooh, bodied. What about Faye?
Fuck Faye.
Well,
The
Chicken?
dragon
Faye's
Faye, the chicken.
She
She's still
actually,
adorable. Still strong, but I
I'd say
think
it's
she's starting
about
to
like
fall
I don't
off.
know.
Like she's still
Not bad,
usable,
not
but it's like most people would go for the stronger.
well, the only problem
That should
is
be
she's the
fair.
only available one, reasonably, for greens.
Yeah,
you don't
Drip
have
to-
Foreign
kinda like-
ain't no
She still
good.
stands.
It's only
Kana's
red.
doing
That was an
it.
option.
Kana's kind of sucks because her HP and other stats just don't
Her
really
attack
line
is
up with
awful.
what.
Damn.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, Kana sucks. So really, Faye still like the only thing that's like super stand out aside from like a 5-star exclusive.
And
And
That
she was
said-
open to her fine, so
Yeah, that said, Faye is still like, if you want to keep using her now, you have to throw in like the new skills on her. Like you have to use no counter disrupt. I had
no
to
C
think about
disrupt.
it.
Yeah,
No,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
call it.
No, you're gonna get us demonetized. I tried to avoid that, but see,
Okay,
here you
sure.
are. But yeah, you have to do your like no disrupt or no follow up and like some other stuff. Like you have to change out her stuff as time passes because that's the thing with dragons is they are at least somewhat future proof. Like all you really have to do is give them the new stuff and they're on par and they're online with everybody else. Not to mention she can get 10 flowers, so that's also very helpful. So yeah, the future-proof nature of dragons is still strong. Not as strong as it used to be, but it's still there.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. Dragons, best class in the game or not?
I love them personally.
Only when they are also armored.
Well, here's the thing. I think they are the best class because
yeah.
their damage scales so much better. Number one, variable damage breaths. They're all variable at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number two, when they do fight something physical heroes generally, about 80% of the time I would say, have lower res than defense. So you're already getting the better matchup. So even though
Yep.
your attack isn't as high, you got something there. And they're always really bulky. They always have that higher BST. Even Generation 1 dragons, you know, like Noe, she's 162 BST. And right now we're getting like Thea, who's 162 BST. She's still matching up. So I think it's dragons.
Even Falchion, you just have to be careful sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. You're
Swordbreaker
on...
Noe is still a thing.
Wait, really?
Yeah, people
I don't
actually
know.
still
I
try
run
that.
it, but I don't like invest in Noe. But I still use her in AA almost every time.
Oh, same here, man. Same here.
Yeah, unless you also TA. It has to be TA Swordbreaker, but actually it also can't be TA Swordbreaker because Alm exists and he will
Yeah.
potion the fuck out of you.
I use Fury
yeah.
Swordbreaker,
Fury, yep.
but I have plus speed.
Wait,
Same.
plus speed what?
No,
Plus speed Noe with Fury, like you.
Yeah, but why'd you go Swordbreaker then? You don't really need it.
Because I invested in her like when fucking
Oh.
Nephany came out. Like it was
Oh,
a hot
yeah.
minute ago.
Yeah.
And it's cheap skill, so.
yeah,
And also there's a lot of fast swords. I don't know.
right.
Actually,
It's
Yeah,
still
they're all
not
faster than hers,
balance.
so it makes sense. And
Yeah.
like if you don't sword break, some of them like they will just bypass the weapon triangle completely and just
Yeah.
fuck your shit up. So yeah, I can see why sword breaker is still needed for her at times, unless you
Yeah.
like run null follow up
Yeah,
and QR seal.
yeah.
Not to mention, dragons can easily do the steady breath QR bullshit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's just a classic at this point. They're really good
Yeah.
at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or like if you really want to go ham, I'm surprised nobody really did it. But like steady breath wrath.
Steady
With
breath wrath.
QR.
No, I've seen it.
It can work, yeah.
I don't see it as much as I expected it to see it though. That's the thing. I was like, that's a really sick fucking combination, and it's like nobody does it.
It used
Honestly,
to be so common.
I don't want to say the units that have them have aged bad, but I think Wrath as a skill has kind of aged poorly. It's a good skill, but there's just so many other better B skills that you can.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even use wrath anymore for like a steady breath build. I'd probably do something like steady breath mystic boost.
Nephany has Wrath. I don't ever use it anymore. I have Special Spiral. I have Mystic Boost. I have like all these other great B skills, like
Okay.
Chill Soup, if you want to count those.
That's because you're a madman with Nephany, all right?
Well, I mean, just in general, it's like there's just way better B skills. Especially Special Spiral. Special Spiral's retarded.
Special Spiral. Well, yeah. No, I still think that Wrath holds a lot of potential. I mean, its HP trigger threshold is pretty nice. It's
Oh, yeah, for
still
sure,
it still has a lot of power to it, and compared to other B slots of similar release time, like Guard, it has actually aged pretty well in comparison.
I like
Yeah,
that.
guard aged like shit.
I mean, especially
if you look at-
since Advance 4 is a thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
Steady Stance 4. They
Yeah.
kind of fucked
Passive
up guard
cooldown
from the
is
start though. Cause
I don't even feel like guard is bad. I just feel like the threshold for activating
It's too little.
It's too
Yeah.
little. 80% is not very useful. Even quicker post, which everything other than the actual skill quicker post has been 50%. Guard has 80%. That's not even close to simple enough to trigger.
Yeah,
for a lot
Guard
of
is
units.
definitely that skill that you want to use because it's so good, but it's just
I
It
feel like
doesn't
if the
even
threshold was
score
different, it
well
would be fine.
either.
No, not
Yeah.
just threshold, because its points it's not worth as much.
It's not worth. It's only 200 SP.
Exactly. That also adds into it all.
Yeah, like everything else that has guard is better, like Steady Stance 4 or the guard weapons like Hackle Lancer. Those are much preferred to
But the
guard
effect-
And
Yeah.
extremely
It's-
broken weapons like Witchy Wand.
and the Witchy.
oh yeah,
one.
Witchy Wand.
God,
Wait, that
weapon is
actually
so
reminds
I love
me-
Witchy
ridiculous.
Wand. I love my Mia.
It's so
Yeah.
good. Oh my god.
It is.
It truly trivializes a lot of the Grand Hero battles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wait,
Especially
Because
because
they'll
it's
come with their
all of them
special
are-
charge and you'll be like, haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Haha, instant special Ophelia gone.
Especially the Abyssals too, because they love doing that.
Yep.
Wait,
like-
speaking of skills that don't age well, Arvis's Recover Ring.
I'm not so sure about that one.
No,
No, what are you
Score-wise,
talking about?
Oh,
Score-wise.
score wise.
It was dead from the
Because it's
start.
basically Renewal 4, yeah.
But
It scores
Where's-
less than renewal.
It scores less than Renewal 3.
Where's our renewal? Where's renewal 4?
I
Do we
mean,
even have a special B skill like that? I don't think we do.
What?
renewal 4.
They have something a little different. It's like, it's basically what would I call it anyway? But at the start of the turn, they just heal. They heal 7 HP.
Well, no,
Every-
I'm talking about the fourth level skills like Fury 4.
Oh no, there's no tier
Joint
4 in
speed.
B
Yeah,
slot.
there's no
Oh,
tier
no.
4.
There is a when that happens, Arena's gonna take a huge shift because of it.
Wait,
But
sorry,
there is
what?
no. When we get 300 SPB slots, Arena's gonna take a huge shift because all units with signature weapons can go into a new scoring bin, leaving again behind the units that don't have weapons that are signature.
Okay, fuck Arena.
So-
That's
I'm just saying it's gonna.
I agree.
When that happens, it's gonna be a huge overturn, both for Arena and Arena Assault.
no. Do you realize how stupid that is? Because even if we get those cool new skills, we don't use them. It's gonna be babying Alphonse and Shireen and all whatevers.
I mean, passive B slots are usually either self-help or debuffing enemies.
Well, you think
So-
that's what our first 300 SPB skills are? I doubt it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. It could be Renewal 4.
It,
That'd be nice.
it will not start for Renewal 4. It will start with some cool, really good skill for B. For the
Chill
hero.
Attack 4.
Guard 4.
Not going for now.
I honestly see renewal for getting it first.
You know what I really see getting it first? Obstruct 4.
Oh, yeah.
It could happen.
Please.
Obstruct 4 would just work all the time. You can't turn it
And then
off.
it still wouldn't be good.
Well,
No,
yeah.
that's actually stupid amazing if you think
Actually, in certain maps, obstruct at full
It's
any
better
HP
in like
threshold.
in-game content, I think. Maybe ether raids in certain situations, but you don't have enough time to really take advantage of it.
about it. Well, your defense team will.
That's true.
Yeah, if you can just stop enemies from moving on, yeah.
Can we get a special spell of 4? Where you cool down 3 instead of 2?
Dear God, no.
Maybe in a
Takumi
few
aged
years.
really poorly.
Oh, you're
I
right.
don't think
That's
I
a
need to say
unit
that.
who absolutely aged poorly.
Ooh,
Like
that
I
aged like milk.
OG Takumi
Oh,
did not age.
oh man.
at all.
He's one of the few heroes where they did the refine and nothing changed.
Yep.
Literally
He
nothing
aged
changed.
so poorly, they took away Virion and gave everyone a free one.
Oh, jeez.
God.
That one I will agree with. And that one's not getting any help anytime soon after that refine.
Yeah, it's a shame because the refine on paper sounds fun, especially
Oh, it
stuff
does.
like
It's-
with Anna
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like this is really cool from like a technical standpoint, but it doesn't change anything about like his awful stat line, his everything else. Although
Yep.
you could probably get away with doing a Takumi build today with like some links and some bonds, and it could be really cool, but it's
just
still
Too much of a gimmick.
well, gimmicks are fun. That's what
I mean,
makes
it's
them
fun, but it's too much of a gimmick for not enough return.
So correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong. It's
Yes.
pass, but he can also pass through trees as if they were lore.
Yes.
He is not
Okay.
able to be slowed by terrain, and he can move to any ally within 2 spaces if he's healthy.
But he keeps the terrain
Okay.
part regardless, so
Yeah, the terrain part's universal, which is a unique effect. I'll
which is
give
the
him that.
only useful part about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could use something like that in AR for like a map with a lot of terrain that people normally can't pass, like grasslands or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can use that to teleport around. Like if you give him the offense power, even at +0 in Aether raids, it's gonna be a very strong, annoying weapon. So I think it on paper is good, like, but the weapon itself is like it doesn't help his poor stats. But you can do other things to help with that. We have
Exactly.
flowers now. We have all the other stuff, and it's like you can make a case for him, but in comparison to what Line just got, are you really going to use Takumi, or are you going to give close counter to Sophia? You're going to give close counter to Sophia.
Exactly. It's just a very unfortunate situation that he is too much of a gimmick for not enough stat return. Whereas other units, not as gimmicky, but have a much better return in general, and as such can make better use of Refine or that close counter.
Or some just as gimmicky, but like gimmicky through their other skills and not their main weapon.
Right.
Okay, but I think that's everything.
There is one thing. We
Yeah.
forgot to mention Dark Aura.
Who?
Oh.
Oh my God, you're right.
Completely forgot about
We just talked about Dark Excalibur. Dark Aura is good. More offensive stats is always good.
That's
It's
all
okay.
I saw
Nobody
too.
uses either of those characters. Other
I
than,
do. I love
I
Delphia.
actually I refined Dark Aura.
Minus attack plus defense, Stealthia.
Well, you're unlucky.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
That's the
I'm
worst
sorry.
possible spread.
That is
Yep.
actually unfortunate. I'm sorry for you.
She was one of my best characters at the time.
Oh boy.
Aw.
Oh man.
No, the refine itself is actually really nice. It's
Really?
well I actually used it compared to
Wait, you got
Aura's
it?
original. I actually did it because
Wow.
I have a plus attack Lind. Of course, I'm gonna use it.
Oh, for Lind. Oh my God.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
so.
for
mean-
Lind,
Boo!
it's amazing.
I mean, for Lind in particular, it's amazing. I'm comparing
Wait,
it
Lind
to
already
original
had it.
Aura. Lind had Aura refine, which
Yeah,
is
which is the same thing
well. Let's put it this way: Dark Aura is much nicer.
because of the boost.
Composition, which is why I prefer it, because Lind only gives that buff of attack +6 to mages and healers, and then she can only get her buff if she's near those
bows.
types of units and bows. Whereas
And
the
daggers.
original, I'm pretty sure it doesn't apply to daggers. Last I checked.
I think it does now.
What?
No, the original aura only gives it to magic and staff, and only receives magic. So it's even more constrained. Whereas Dark Aura, if you are a melee physical unit, you get that buff, and
Or
then you
dragon.
give that buff.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, if you're a melee unit, you get that buff, and you give it. So it's a lot
It's
easier.
a lot
to
more
play.
consistent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you
Also,
can
how
run
many
them
people
differently.
besides Ophelia users run multiple mages? You know, well, I
Right.
do.
I do.
I
I do.
can, but reasonably, it's easier to run a mage in a middle physical team, which is why I prefer that refine, because you can give a wider range of units and more synergetic units that attack +6 buff. And then you can give yourself that attack speed +5 a lot more consistently, which is why, in general, I tend to take that refine over the original aura. And that's why I kind of actually like it a lot on Lind and on Delthea, because they're very similar in style.
Yeah, a little more on Linde since she has.
Yeah,
two.
no, Lind has the better speed.
And she has nice feet according to the devs.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nim's gonna appreciate that one.
I do appreciate it. Drawing nice feet is such a pain.
I mean, to be fair to you and to be fair to the devs, Lind does have very nice feet.
Yes.
So I can see where foot fetishes are coming from when they talk about Linde's feet. That said,
What?
I just think she's cute in general. But
Yeah.
But
I
what?
have nothing else to add to that.
Okay.
Nothing else to add.
All this Ophelia talk when I don't even have an Ophelia. Type of hand.
Wait, you don't? She's so good.
Nope. I don't have one. I never pulled one.
Damn.
I do. She's just not very good, and if I ever got another one, I'd just kill her.
What?
I don't know.
How's she not
She's
very
just
good?
Minus speed plus defense.
Not to mention,
I have Lilina.
Tell to you is in a 4-star pool. I mean, you can do the same
She
gimmick
is.
on her, and she has Wrath in her weapon.
No,
does?
not quite as good. I think that I understand the argument, but I still think Ophelia's better, and also crap, forgot her name. Ishtar.
Ishtar. I'm not so sure about Ishtar.
Wait, you think?
Not anymore.
No, I mean, comparing. Well,
If you compare Ishtar to Taltiu, I can see
I can
the
see it compared to
argument.
Tail 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Compared to
saying.
But-
Ophelia,
Tail 2.
I'm not so sure.
I'm not saying
But Ophelia
Ophelia.
to Ishtar, I'm like, nah, Ishtar blows that out the water. man.
Yeah, no. But Tail 2 versus Ishtar is really a very comparable situation, because it's either you get Slaying or you get Wrath. You either get Mergeability or a slightly better stat line at the start. That's pretty much what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, Ophelia just cannot compare it. People just like
Ophelia
her
is
gimmick. She's just this gimmick special spiral build with like
Yep.
an AoE.
And you have
it's
to
like,
inherit it onto her. Keep that
Yeah,
in
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
It's
Gotta
not
take off chill rest.
that good. I mean, yes, people in AR with like hardy bearing AoE shit is like kind of annoying, but you know what the most common TA Raven color is? Green.
Yeah, Cecilia is
great.
actually really popular.
Like Ophelia is literally free when you put her on defense teams.
Wait,
Here's the problem.
I've seen.
She even dies in one hit. If they don't put hardy bearing on it, you get a bandit. Boom, gone. Like, it's over.
I mean, I actually do have a Hardy Bearing 3 Ophelia.
Asshole.
Same here.
Yes, I am.
If I may ask, because I never really looked into it, why Blazing Light?
Because she comes with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other, I think the best option's Blazing Wind,
From
but
Soleil.
Blazing Light's easier.
I actually think for
I find
AR,
Blazing
Blazing
Wind is
Flame
easier.
Blazing Flame might be better in.
for
Really?
AR.
Yeah,
'Cause a
for
lot of
AR,
people-
it actually might be better to use Flame.
Yeah, people really like to line their units up horizontally, especially if you have a map that complements like you
Oh, yeah.
sort of trying to line up yourself horizontally. So Blazing Flame will hit more in general.
That is actually a good point. Yeah, with how the layouts are, might be better to do it that way, even if it's kind of awkward range. Yeah, no, I definitely think that you can make use out of those. But, of course, you have to fodder off a different unit for those, and that might not always be preferred.
I mean,
Yeah, but Blazing Flames on like George and Lilina, those are pretty easy to get.
Yeah, I won't argue that either.
For Blazing Wind is Navarre and Soleil. So
Yeah, I'm sure that Soleil's a little harder to fire off
Yeah.
than Blazing Flame.
I mean, you do get you can inherit 4 things now. So you can
Wait.
get Blazing Flame, and then you can also grab the...
From
the
Nacella, then.
The drive, right?
Yeah,
Drive
Nacella
routes.
also has a.
Oh yeah,
Nacella,
Nacella.
then you can literally just get.
Although you have to do Swift Sparrow too.
I if you're not foddering Nysala for Swift Sparrow, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yep, that's basically what he's there for.
Swiss Row Ophelia wouldn't be so bad then.
It wouldn't be bad.
just
The only
wouldn't-
problem is
the
her
attack,
weapon
yeah.
wants visible attack.
Yeah.
It wants to be
Yeah.
visible. Like
Yeah.
Deathblow 4 doesn't work with her.
Absolutely. That's why everyone does life and death. But still, if you can sacrifice that 5 attack for the better spread, and then you still come out with a great A skill, that's not so bad.
I mean,
I
yeah.
think it's a little on the small brain side to run AoEs in AR. I think the big brain plays are with like the instant dragon fangs and the instant
Oh yeah, those
keys and
can.
stuff. I think
yeah.
those are more big brain because those, if you try to tank them, that's unblockable. So you absolutely have to be able to tank it and then one shot. And if it's on a fast unit, like they'll double you if you can't one shot them back. So yeah. I'm more in the plays for like instant procs in general instead of like the instant AoEs. Although
Yeah, no,
instant
I-
AoEs can be strong, like when you're using them yourself. Like I see offensive people who use Ophelia, and I just want to strangle
Oh,
those
God.
people because fuck them.
Why don't I do that?
but yeah. So yeah, you'll see that stuff on the AoEs on like an offense team, and they're really strong.
Yeah.
But on defense, I feel like you might be better off with instant procs instead.
Yeah, no, like, I think I remember, I haven't been threatened as, I've seen less people get threatened by instant AoE, but I've seen things like instant Dragon Fang Lilina, and those have actually been even harder to counter, because it's just flat out upfront damage in the fight that you can't vantage out of, that you just kind of face tank.
Yeah, and she
That
has like
can be-
70 attack. Like, unless you have like a TA blue, it's gonna be rough to tank it, but it's doable. But then you have things like I'm doing like a Carrot Dagger Kagero with plus attack and all that stuff, and
Oh, yeah, I
instant
saw
Dragon
that.
Fang. Now that's extremely hard to counter because you also have to take into the fact that the Dragon Fang and then the flat 10 damage. So you might calculate that you can take the normal damage, but then you forget
Okay.
about the wound out part of it, and you die.
Right.
And then, so yeah, I think stuff like that's really fun.
Or they don't calculate it because they just realize, oh hey, we're gonna die.
Yep.
I was like, hey, TA Raven, I'm just gonna plant you right here and tank the Kagero, and oh shit, she just did like 61 damage. What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
All right, but I think that's all topics. We kind of covered Darkor, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
Why
great
don't we
refine,
just talk
great
about Delphia's tooth instead?
Oh, it's so cute.
It's
Oh
very
yes,
adorable.
the little
Perfect.
small thing.
I don't know. I'm not a fan
You're
of
not.
the Fang.
You're not. Oh.
No, we can't argue
Oh,
about this.
no.
No, stop.
No,
you love
why?
the tooth. You love the fang.
Sorry, bro.
Justice.
I guess I'm just not a lolicon enough for it. I
You don't have
know,
to be a
man.
lolicon. It could be a normal sized girl with a fang. It's still cute.
Well, no. Look at trash like Mem from Dragalia Lost.
What?
Trash.
Okay, let's stop this.
I'm
podcast.
sorry.
What?
She's a
Let's stop the
That
podcast.
is
How
a
is she
bait- that is a-
trash?
That is the most bait ass waifu I have ever seen. Everybody
She is
who
pretty
votes for her,
bait,
You are
honestly.
ashamed for your.
You
ought to be
people-
ashamed of yourself.
Oh my god, I fell in love with her before I even saw her. I fell in love with her in her dragon form. I was like, this dragon has so much character.
Bless.
That's true. He wanted to
Why
put his
couldn't it have been
pee
a
in a dragon instead of the human form.
Well, at least it's a
I was
chick.
already there
Wow.
on board before any of that bait. You guys are not being fair to her.
Look, I'm just saying, if her design didn't look as bait as it was, and they did human forms of all of the main dragons, like I'd like to see how cute Mercury is as a human. I'm just
Me
saying.
too.
Should she be a
actually.
MILF?
So like Mercury, Jupiter, I think Zodiac would look kind of like a really cool dude, and Midgard, like he's kind of the main dragon. I kind of feel like he should have a human form.
Main dragon, my ass.
Like I don't know.
They
he
completely
has
forgot
that
about him.
air of like main character.
Bro,
Like,
I
he
never
would be
understood. they have the whole thing with, oh, you have to use the same element. Then why the fuck are you pairing Midgard with Idunn?
I know, that never made sense.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
well,
kind of weird.
let's
Maybe
not get
they'll
into
do
Dragalia
something.
on the Fae podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go over Dragalia another day. So
Right.
we get out of here.
Honestly, the podcast can expand to other gacha games in the future, but right now we'll just keep it FEH.
Do we have an ending message that we
Yes,
want the people
yes.
to type?
Hashtag meme is waifu.
Hashtag meme is trash.
Hashtag meme is waifu. Hashtag fuck you, Marvels.
Hashtag your waifu is shit.
Wait, okay, can we settle on one? Because they're gonna be so confused.
Okay, which one do you want?
Can we settle
Okay.
on hashtag Fang Justice? Because Marbles hates Delphia.
Yeah, there you go. Fang Justice.
Yes, Fang Justice.
I don't know. I'm not
I
down
didn't say
for that
Delphia
Fang
wasn't
either.
cute now. I just said I wasn't a fan of the Fang. Let's get
Okay, well, we want Fang Just.
Fang
Justice.
Justice.
Fang Justice.
Also, why the fuck are you waifuing Delphia, you damn pedo?
What? She's not.
She's like
I'm
fucking 5.
I'm playing with y'all, but come on. That's a Dateru. That's not a waifu. Come on.
What? You're not supposed to like waifu the lollies. Unless they're a 1,000-year-old vampire, then you go for it.
Shut the fuck up.
Look, this is why normies hate anime. It's because of us. And but mostly you. Mostly you.
Look, man, who cares what the normies want?
The normies are the ones pushing you guys out of your own damn culture.
They'll accept it eventually.
The normies is what put food on our table. Just saying.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, let's get out of here before this gets too stupid.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Again, what's the hashtag?
Fang Justice.
Fang
No.
Justice.
Fang Justice.